The hinterland of northern New South Wales is known for its fertile volcanic soil. It's what drew people to settle here in the late 1800s. By the 1920s and 30s, the region's dairy farms were supplying a quarter of New South Wales milk and 60% of its butter, all made possible by government land clearing regulations. But it all started with harvesting red cedar.
It was like red gold, they called it. So they took out all the red cedars that were hanging over the rivers, because they was easy to get, and then they just moved into this whole area and took them out with bullocks, and then carted them off to England for was like a gold mine.
The land was then made available to farmers on the condition that it was cleared. The impact of that regulation changed the landscape and decimated what is known as big scrub. Professor Maurizio Rosetto is the head of the Research Centre for Ecosystem Resilience at Botanic Gardens of Sydney.
The big scrub used to be the largest expanse of subtropical rainforest in Australia, and some people say also in the world, in the southern hemisphere anyway. Unfortunately, most of it, because of its very rich soils and suitable location, was cleared very early in the piece, last century, in fact in the 1800s. And so we now have less than 1% of it remaining. That has a huge impact.
In the early 1990s, a group of locals in the hinterland of Byron Bay were trying to educate people about big scrub and restore the original rainforest. Dr. Tony Parkes arrived in the area from Sydney in 1989 to discover there were just 80 small and scattered rainforest remnants left.
They were being inundated with an avalanche of weeds, and their future was suspect. So the government was doing nothing, no level of government was doing anything really. So we got a group together and said, look, the community had better try and do something about this.
They started a land care group in 1993 to save the remnants by removing weeds and assessing improvements to the vegetation.
The cynical ecologist said to us, you're wasting your time, because in these remnants, the populations of some of the key species are so small that they will inbreed and they will disappear.
That's when the group agreed Tony should reach out to Maurizio Rosetto. The professor told them to restore the rainforest properly, they'd need to do something big and new. It meant looking at the genetic diversity across the range of the important species, especially the ones that form the canopy.